So there was a time during COVID where for me, I had just given birth to my son in that February of 2020. So right when lockdown was in March, I remember. And then we get told at work, for those that were working, I was on maternity leave, that their salaries are going to get cut to like 20%. Some of them, it was really crazy numbers, not even 50, like 20 and 30%.
Yeah. No, I don't know how I would feel being in that situation. But like I said to you in the beginning, I wish we had more of these conversations. If your journey in the corporate world was a song, what would the title be?
You can be the greatest. You can be the best. And my son will be like, you can be the King Kong.
Oh. Alright, hi guys, welcome back to Waiting for All Things Beautiful, inspired by the meaning of my full name, Silindo Gushe. Today I am seated here with Palesa Dooms. We are going to be talking about something very fruitful. I think I can say fruitful.
Yes.
Very impactful, especially to the woman, but even men can take away from what we'll be saying today. And but before we get into it, I just want to, light icebreakers, ask her a few things, So, Palesa, okay, if your journey in the corporate world was a song, what would the title be?
This is a good one. And I don't know if you're too young to know the song, but it's something I there's gotta be more to life.
Oh, yes.
Than chasing down everything. You know that song, right? I can't remember who sings it, but I know the song and that meaning. It's deep. There's got to be more to life.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't think I can think of a song per se, but there is a TV series. I don't know if you know The Office.
Oh yes, I've heard about it. I've watched it maybe once.
Yeah. For me, it's The Office.
Okay.
Because it's so routine and it's the same thing. And it's like, but this is what we grew up for.
So you play their jingle. That,
yes.
You know that, the way it starts.
Exactly. Okay, maybe I'll take that jingle.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be the song. And then the next one is, what's your go-to power anthem or song that gets you in a confident mood?
There's so many. So every time I start one of my trainings, I play a song. This past year, I can say it's been Hall of Fame. An old song again. I know people are like, what, you're only catching on now? Yes, I am only catching on now because I'm more into lyrics. So even when I play the songs, I play the lyrics only. So I was like, oh, you can be the greatest. You can be the best. And my son will be like, you can be the King Kong. Right? Because exactly. So I think that's a brilliant song. And the fact when I went further, I was like, what? It speaks to being a teacher, a politician, whatever you are. And I was like, nah, this is purpose. Now this is purpose. Yes.
I think for me, again, I don't think I have a song.
Yes.
But I think I've got a genre.
Oh yes.
Definitely gospel takes me out of the slump.
Yeah,
I'll just put on gospel.
Yes.
And then I'm a piano. I know.
Hey.
Of course. But just put on my piano and we've got this, deadline. Guys, it flies. I'm just like, wow, I'm done. Yes, this is it. So I think for me, slump, either gospel or I'm a piano. It works for me, definitely. Yeah. Okay, so let's jump right onto it, right? I just want to give my audience just a bit of, I want to elaborate. So first and foremost, I reached out to you because I really feel that we need to speak on what happens in the workplace, especially to women, and particularly to those who are coming like after us, right? I think I've got like 6-7 years of not corporate,
Yes.
but 6-7 years of work.
Yes.
And I've gone through a lot. And I wish I could have had a podcast such as this where I could take away from a few things and, just learn from a woman who's kind of been through it. And I can see that, of course, this didn't just happen overnight. There are certain things that you had to kind of overcome to be where you are today. So my first question, obviously, we're just going to be focusing on navigating the workplace with confidence. I wanted to ask you, right? So confidence isn't always constant. Can you share a time when you might have struggled with confidence at the workplace, and what strategies did you use to overcome that?
Yeah, sure. So there was a time during COVID where for me, I had just given birth to my son in that February of 2020. So right when lockdown was in March, I remember. And then we get told at work, for those that were working, I was on maternity leave, that their salaries are going to get cut to like 20%. Some of them, it was really crazy numbers, not even 50, like 20 and 30%. And wow. So now I'm thinking, am I even going back to having a job? I just had my first baby. I'm in my 20s and I'm like, whoa, okay, this is tough. What's happening to the world? And then the week I get back, I get told, so you will come back on no salary. Right? But if you manage to place someone, you will earn commission from the placement. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever been in recruitment, it takes about 3 months to build up pipeline.
Yep.
I haven't been around now. I've been on maternity. I'm already not sleeping as I should. So I'm not in the loop with things. I'm coming back to negative energy. People are getting 20% salary. So people aren't like hyped in the office. And I just had to, in that moment, channel myself in and ask myself, what is it that I want? And I said, I want to be able to earn my salary at the end of this month. My salary. Knowing how much I earn, I need to try and make that in commission. I think, like you mentioned now, gospel. For me, driving to work every morning, because it was a bit of a drive on the highway. I hate the highway. But anyway, and the only thing that helped me to tune myself in for what it is that I'm focused on and forget the noise, because everyone else is negative. Everyone's talking about getting another job and whatever. I'm here having to do my work back for 8 months. So I said, I'm going to place this in God's hand in every single step of the way. Like literally, this is not, I mean, he brought this child, that's first of all, and 100%. He's going to provide. However, also when I got to work, I tried my level best to, because we're sitting separately, that was a positive, great part now, because I wasn't facing someone else or whatever. I could tune into, I'm going to do what I have to do. And this was the basics, making the calls, doing the interviews, like I'm a rookie, like I just started yesterday, making new lists, all of that, as if though I know nothing. And lo and behold, I managed to make a placement big enough. Within that same month, the person started the same month. So it was an immediate start, because usually they start 2 months later having to resign. And I was like, guys, those things are impossible in the real world. If you get one, it's a lucky one. And it just, I was like, but that's it. When you really put your mind to things and you don't allow the noise and the distractions, and you tell yourself, but this is what I have to get, not want to, but I have to achieve, it changes the game. And you don't give yourself options. We've all been able to do crazy things when we don't have options. But at the moment you give yourself options, like, oh no, I will see, I'll ask my mom, I'll ask, whatever. There's always a backup. I'll get a loan, whatever. And I was just like, those are not even options. Now I'm thinking of them now. I didn't think of them even back then. And so that is it for me. It was sometimes you are going to have to walk corporate in a way that I'm alone. I need to focus. I need to do this for me, because it's my performance at stake. It's my paycheck at stake. It's my reputation at stake, and no one else's. Because we love to make things group assignments at work when they're not. Right? It's like,
maybe that will be the title. Sure. That's such an important point. I think I like when you mentioned, work as though, or you put yourself in a place where you were like, I don't have any option. And once you're there, you work like none other.
Yeah.
And what you can achieve once you just tell yourself, though there may be options like what you just mentioned, there always are. However, when you tell yourself, no, but this is my only option. Yes, there are options, but I've chosen this option. The things that you can achieve.
Yep.
I'm so proud of you. And how old are you there, if you don't mind?
No, if I can remember, I got my son, I was 28.
Sure.
So it's not that long ago for me, but it feels long ago because I feel so different now. But back then it was desperate situation.
I'm turning 28 this year.
Yes.
So I don't know how I would feel being in that situation. But like I said to you in the beginning, I wish we had more of these conversations because I don't know, how would you have felt if you had, I'm diverting a little bit, but how would you have felt if at least we had some kind of conversation such as this? Because podcasts only started to brew around after COVID or just around COVID, and certain things like speaking like this were almost taboo. Like it's almost if you can't sit and actually discuss what we're discussing today. So do you think that it would have helped to have this kind of conversation?
Yes, I think a lot, because I would have known that I'm not the only one. I truly believe at that time I felt like this is a me alone thing. I can't speak to anyone else because I'm the one that was on maternity and no one else in this office was on maternity. But you find there are other women that have even worse maternity stories, right? And if I could hear them, I would have felt like, oh no, I'm going to go in with a positive attitude. I'm going to do this. It wouldn't have felt like do or die. It would have felt like, okay. And even if I don't manage to make the commission or whatever, I'll make a plan or what. But at that time, it really felt like this is do or die. There's just nothing for you.
Sure. Yeah. I love that. I really love that. I think I mentioned, the first thing I say is that confidence isn't always a constant.
Yes.
I think for me, in my own experiences, I had to learn that confidence isn't just a light switch. Like you can just go flick it and then stop and then go recharge and tomorrow back to 110. Yes. No. Confidence is uncomfortable. Or rather, let me not say confidence is uncomfortable, but building confidence is uncomfortable.
Yes.
I'm only this confident in some areas because obviously we are work in progress. I'm only this confident in some areas of my life because I've had to actually face the intimidating what can I say, something that used to intimidate me. I have to face it.
Yes.
And then when I find myself on the other side, I'm like, okay, I can actually. And then there's that one, like how you go to the gym and then 5 kg, the next thing in 3 weeks 10 kg, you have to overcome certain things and then you get there. But best believe it's not a constant. It's something that you have to improve, and there's so many layers to confidence as well. You can be confident in speaking, showing up. So take it easy. Corporate is going to hit you with so many things. Take it literally. If we can just open up what we've been hit with, just take it easy and don't run away from being uncomfortable. You like, just build on your confidence. Build on your confidence. I thank you for that. I think another question that I mentioned was, how important has it been for you to define your own measures of success and not solely rely on external validation in maintaining your confidence?
Sure, it's so deep. And the reason I say it's so deep is I grew up being validated by my parents a lot. And I mean like a lot, as in good girl just for eating my food. I think of it now like, really? Wow, what an achievement. Right? Like I was hungry. So I accomplished the goal. Right? But either way. But that's literally how it was. And growing up like that usually makes you rely a lot on it. And I know as parents, we still want to do it for our children now. However, we have to build them validating themselves. They must say, look, I'm so happy for me that I've done this. And I say this because I have a husband that grew up the opposite way, where he would do amazing things and his parents would be like, so what did you expect though? I mean, 90% you studied, right? I was like, what? My parents would take me to Spur. And his confidence, though, then came from building it himself and not relying on people. And for me, the longest time for my life, I had been living for, can somebody applaud me? Somebody needs to say, this is great now. And in school, you get it. If you work for it in school, you get it. You'll get the gold medal for athletics. You'll become the first black head girl. You will do all these things. And then I started going to varsity and I was like, oh my goodness, it seems a bit far now, right? I must become CSC. And I did. That was great. Chasing validation. Got to work. How, guys?
Nothing.
Well done was in the first month. And it got silent. And you're like, all right. Now we're going back to the drawing board.
Yes.
Palesa needs to build confidence and validate herself first. She needs to know who she is, regardless of what people say. And going to the drawing board means asking yourself, what does success mean for you? And for a lot of people, it's different. Another person values driving a Range Rover, which I'm going to drive one day. But that's not success. I'm just going to drive it because it's a car that needs to be driven.
Okay.
Right? And then what I've realized now success is that ability to be able to overcome and still be standing. Now those people are successful. People that have gone through the most and yet they haven't lost themselves. Like they don't think less of themselves because of what they've been through or because of what they're going through. People that have had to downgrade cars, homes, whatever it is, but they still haven't lost sight of who they truly are. That for me is success now.
Sure.
Because that, I think, for me, I've seen myself being able to navigate that. And I was like, Lord, this could only be you. Because knowing me, you know, I'm not stepping any gears down. We are going forward all the way. And for the first time when things like that happen, where you left corporate and you come back and you take 10 steps back, like 20 steps back in your career, and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm earning less than I earned a few years ago in my first job. But the fact that I showed up with the character, that for me is success. That's success. I showed up with integrity. I showed up with the values that I place ahead of everything else. Now that's success for me. Right? For another person, it'd be, you know, I still showed up with a Gucci bag. Right? At least I didn't look like my problems. Good. That's good. And that's part of it, right? And that's part of it. So just defining it for yourself so that you can pat yourself on the back when you know that I've grown.
I love that.
Growth.
Sure, I love that. I think what you're also saying is that, you know, a validation is pleasant. It's a pleasant bonus. Cool. But it's, if you're going to depend on external validation, that thing fluctuates.
Yeah.
I'm here, and like what you said, people have to build their own idea of what success is.
Yeah.
So my idea is this, yours is different. And yet now I'm waiting for you to applaud what I've built for myself. And in your eyes, no, Mina, my success is supposed to look like this. It fluctuates. I love that you say, if you are in a situation, we're only here to build and not tear. If you're in a situation where you felt, or you've been feeding on external validation, it's really important to go back.
Yeah.
You know, draw back and ask yourself, okay, what is success? What is it? What's this, like the point A to point B, that when I reach point B, I can say to myself, well done. Whether she or he has seen it. I like another thing that you've said. I've also been through a period of my life where it's like been back and forth, back and forth. You find yourself in a place where you were doing really great.
Yes.
And 6 months later, you're doing the total up. It's like a 360.
Yeah.
And I love that we've got a strong foundation, which is God.
Yes.
However, if there was no God, I don't know where I'd be.
Oh.
Guys, I wouldn't be here today.
I wouldn't be here.
I would have given up, by the way.
No, I wouldn't be here.
No, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here either. But I think in those moments, for me personally, that's when I took the step to say, okay, what do you want to do? Are you still at the period of your life where you're trying to please your parents? I was more like your husband. I never got validation. If anything, it was, I'm now.
I don't know how I would have coped without it though. I'm just
There's
trying to
no
imagine.
Validation, no, good girl. Hi, bo, good girl for 80. No. You did okay, good. That's what you're supposed to do. Go and do. And for me, if you didn't reach a certain or their expectations, oh my goodness, my world would come. So I had to get to a point where I had to have a sit down with the person that I wanted to actually, please, and just tell her that, listen, actually, I don't think I'm going to reach your expectations.
Yes.
However, I do want you to know that this is my path. And I'd love for you to, support it. But then again, I also want to mention that sometimes support also won't be there.
Yes.
It's just not going to be there. Please, you need to don't stand on external anything, external validation, support. If you know that this is something that I'm good at, go for it. Go for it. I love what you said. Go back to the drawing board. Then go for it. Yeah, don't wait for anyone, anything, because it's not gonna come. And even if it does, it's a pleasant bonus. That's fine.
It's like, thank you. You probably needed it as well.
Exactly.
And usually the people that give it the most also need it. And I say that because I'm one of those people. I give people a lot of validation because I know the feeling of looking over your shoulder and waiting for someone to say, well done. And there's no well done. And you're like, oh my goodness.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I think it's a good idea to not stand on validation.
Yes.
Stand on your own. Well, don't stand on your own, no.
Yeah.
But don't seek validation so much.
Yes.
What role does preparation play in boosting your confidence in your professional setting?
Sure. Meet me in my first class. The first slide only says prepare. There's nothing.
I think I've seen something like that where you just like, guys, prepare, please.
Let's not go the other route. Because the examples that you want to make that couldn't come, they were never there. So where must they come from? Not in a bad way, but like I think of it all the time. People be like, then I just hit a blank and I think, I'm like, okay, but where was it?
Where was it?
It's the fear. No, it's not the fear. It's the lack of preparation. but that's a speaking thing. So, but just in general, I also want us to look at preparation from different perspectives. Sometimes our problem is that we're not placing our faith in the preparation that doesn't look like pen and paper.
Oh,
right. So, preparation isn't only because I put the notes down on my slides or on my book that I'm ready. Preparation is trusting that my experiences have prepared me for this moment as well. But trusting it. The problem is you're not placing trust in it. That's why you feel like you were not prepared. Oh, I'm caught off guard. This. No, it was never off guard. It came at a time where you were ready for it, but you didn't believe you were ready for it. So it's a confidence thing as well. And thinking of preparation not as only, last night I prepared for this meeting. It is my whole year I've been preparing for this meeting. But do I believe and trust that inkling that comes up, or do I say to it, no, it's stupid, man. That's a stupid thing to say. No, you can't say that now. It doesn't come from nowhere. For some people, they'll say it was my gut feeling. Some people, it will say it was Holy Spirit reminded me of. All of that it reminds you of something that has happened in the past that is now valid and necessary to mention. But you don't place value and trust in it. You go, oh no, it's not. I didn't write it on a paper yesterday, so I can't say it. Or no, you can 100% say it. It's also remembering that when we speak in those moments or when we do our work in those moments, it's not about being right. It's about what I truly believe is right now. It's what I truly believe this is the right thing to do right now. And tomorrow, Linda walks in and she's like, no, Palesa, here it should be -2. And I go, oh, thank God. Not, I knew it was wrong. You see, right? So having that as well, grace that you give yourself to know that this is just what I truly believe right now from my perspective, and I'm open to other perspectives. That's why it's okay to share my ideas. It's okay to say what I want to say because it comes from somewhere. It's either my experiences or things that I've heard other people say, because we listen to a lot of content as well. You've seen other people's life experiences, because the idea of thinking that it's only the things that I prepared on that I'm going to do well in. What is preparation? It's everything that your experiences, what you've heard, what you've learned, that is preparation as well.
I love that so much. When you're prepared, even when there's a question that wasn't in the note or whatever, there's a confidence, like you said. I love how confidence ties to everything.
Everything.
Just in the center. So I love that so much. Be prepared. Everything feels so seamless after that. I love the first point you made, that it's not just preparation where you've written, you've read it for like a day or two. I'm prepared. It's deeper than that.
Yes.
I love it. I think that's a whole podcast on its own. Guys, let's talk about preparation. Let's actually unpack what preparation means.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Okay. The experiences, right, of Black women in the workplace can often come with unique challenges. How have you navigated these while maintaining your confidence and sense of self-worth?
Yeah. So you're mentioning it in the workplace, but I think for me it started at a very, very young age. So I was one of those only Black girls in class because I was in an Afrikaans class growing up from primary and high school. So there was also here and there'd be another Black person depending on the module or the class that we're doing in high school. But we'd separate. I know her very well. We're still friends, right? We'd separate whenever we go do the other classes that we chose as our subjects, not modules. Hey, subjects. Subjects. So I think for me personally, I had already learned it the hard way. Where I walked into grade 8 and the first day in class, 2 white boys were like, okay, you are Martha and you are Sophie, because that's my cleaner's name and you are also my cleaner's name. I was my father's daughter, nah? Like, as in my dad was a bit rough around the edges. And I stood up and I said, no, that's your grandmother's name. And the teacher took me to the front and he was like, we don't talk like this in this class. And then I explained to him what they had done though. And then he was like, oh, okay, I understand. I was like, I'm just defending myself.
Yes.
Do you know that at the end of that class, we had to choose a class captain and all of those boys voted me in?
You lie.
I became the first class captain in grade 8 and was class captain until matric.
My goodness.
Yeah. So it was literally placing value on myself. It was me saying no. So it starts there, even in the workplace.
Yeah.
It is place value on who you are. Don't allow anyone externally, as well as yourself, to see yourself as though I'm not there yet and I will be there when I look like this or when I'm like that. Who you are right now, what you have right now is enough.
Yeah.
And if people don't respect you, you tell them how to treat you. Because people treat us the way we allow them to.
Sure.
If I had not nipped it in the bud, my friend knows very well that she was Sophie all the way to matric, guys. I'm so, and she, because I was like, she just laughed and it was like, I'm too scared to say no or whatever the challenge was there. But I was like, not me.
Goodness.
So as a Black woman, you are going to at times say to someone that speaks to you maybe in a way that makes you feel like, that was a bit like you are undermining my intelligence.
Yes.
Have those conversations, not next week. Have them straight after that meeting and you will never get treated like that again. All right? I remember a colleague, I call him a colleague, but he was way senior. He was like, yo, Palesa doesn't like me. And I said, no, it's not that I don't like you. I don't like what you just said. And there's a difference between the two. Because he was speaking and I kept on shaking my head. This is on a Zoom call and I kept on going, on a Teams call. While he's talking, because I was just waiting for him to stop speaking. I was like, no, that's not true. What you're saying is wrong. It's not how it is, because it was something about Black people and how they behave and why they behave. I was like, the worst thing you could ever do is put Black people all in one box. We are not all the same. Our backgrounds are not all the same, right? I know we look the same in skin tone and color and all of that, but let me educate you.
Even with that, we're not the same.
Exactly. Let me educate you. And I started sharing the Black girls' stories and the Black men in the room. And I was like, do you see how different we all are? And then he took a step back and I was like, you don't like me. And I find, but I know that he learned from that, right? Because sometimes our problem is we're not educating people how to treat us. And we assume they know when they don't know. Some people are not racist, they just don't know. Yes. And no one is speaking, so how must they know?
If we're just quiet.
Exactly. If we just say, yeah, they're racist, they don't like, it's like, come on. Let's stop having coffee about it and let's address the elephant in the room and stop having WhatsApp groups on the side. we won't be respected if we don't show that we want to be respected, and we will be treated like normal and equals in the room.
I love that. And I think just to add to that, even if you aren't going to get what you were hoping for, which is the respect,
Yes.
they heard you.
Yes.
They've heard you.
100%.
It's unlike you didn't say anything at all.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm saying it verbatim, but there's a quote or a saying that goes, "I can respect someone who tried."
Yes.
Someone who said,
Didn't exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
So I love what you say. Speak. It doesn't help to create those WhatsApp groups like you mentioned. That's what we created. And we
did you hear him?
Yeah, did you see? No. I think I just want to share my experience as a Black woman. So I had an encounter with a white senior, and I was more. I had just started. I was 2 years into working, and he would use profanity, and he would. Even thinking about it, I'm just like, wow, And I just remember thinking to myself, I don't think I'm going to change this man. However, I am going to have to start looking elsewhere. I wish I actually took your advice and said something, because I was not tolerating it, but I thought, okay, maybe this is how it's supposed to be, because I'm young and I just started, and maybe I'm not, reaching expectations, even when I was working overtime and trying to, impress. So I don't know, what kind of advice would you give to someone who was in my shoes? Someone where okay, I'm like 26, 25, 26. This is a 40-something-year-old white man now using profanity, and, to a point where you feel it got really severe, because there were instances where I'd forget where I put my keys, or I left my phone, and it got really bad. It got to me because I was doing the work, but maybe not to his standard.
Yes.
So how do you then articulate that? How do you then vocalize that as a Black woman?
I think when you're that young, first start with getting a support structure. Tell someone else that has more experience than you. There has to be either an HR, and you tell them that I'm not here to report, I'm here to ask for advice on how to handle this. Because at least if anything transpires, someone else knows. Because you feel, right, you feel alone. That's usually why we don't say anything. We feel, I don't have support in this. If I speak up, I could lose my job immediately. But if you've told someone, then at least you know that when that conversation comes up that you're losing your job with immediate effect, and it's like, no, but remember last week I came to you to ask you for advice on this topic. And I just addressed it with him, and now I'm losing my job. And then you have someone that's more senior that can tell you, no, this is actually an IR matter. You're not going to lose your job. We're going to take this to a hearing. And now you feel like, not too bad, right? But it is support, because a lot of times when you're young, when you don't have the experience to know. So get someone that has experience, that knows, that can back you, that doesn't necessarily have to fight it for you, but that can advise you and be almost like an angel sponsor in the background. Yeah.
That's a good idea. I think another advice that I'd like you to give young Black women is, I don't know, but how it's more intertwined with this question that I just asked you, but then how do you also then confidently, maybe let me read it exactly. How do you address displeasing salary from their exact coworker? How do you communicate that, but confidently?
Let's start with where I thought I was going to develop high blood pressure.
Yeah.
When I didn't know. When you don't know, you think you're earning quite okay.
Yes, I remember you actually mentioned something along this.
You think you're earning quite all right.
Until
you feel like you're earning nothing, right? And this comes on a day where, shame, the colleague doesn't know. She's just coming to ask for advice on whether she should take a role that is paying less, right? Because of her career goals and whatever. And then she mentions the figure. And unfortunately, that lower figure she says it's so low, and that's my salary. And I'm looking at her thinking, okay, so she's like, yeah, compared to what I earn now. And I was like, I'm your mentor at work. I need to take a sip of water for that one. I'm your mentor at work.
And yet, there you are talking about how low, but not knowing.
She doesn't know. I said nothing. I couldn't say anything. I could only go tell my husband because I don't formulate WhatsApp groups at work. I'm just like,
Please don't.
no. I was like, why did she tell me? You know, and you feel like, why must I know? This person has less experience than me. When you joined, I had to help you.
What's going on?
What's happening? But since that day, I gained the courage to say, I will keep knocking.
Yeah.
Even if it becomes annoying, right? And at that time, I remember asking or thinking, how do I do this? Let's first start with go and do research. That's how you do it. Don't go in there saying my mentee earns. How do you know? It's confidential.
How do you know?
Salaries are confidential.
So how do you know?
How
Let's
do you
start
know?
there.
So go and do a bit of research. Start there. Go on to Glassdoor. Go on to any place where you can find access to what are the salary ranges. And then you put your files together. But your files must also not be what I have done. It is what I have achieved, because there's a difference. I have 15 years experience. Doesn't mean I've been successful in my role for 15 years. So when you do write that letter, or when you have to have that conversation, you come with the list of projects that you've successfully completed or exceeded expectations on. And this level of experience and qualifications, why am I not earning this? Because we often rely on the whole, I've got experience, I've got a qualification. It's nothing. What is it achieved in that organization? What is the impact on the ROI, return on investment? What did they get from you being able to do this? You spending a lot of hours on something doesn't mean anything. It only means something when that project is successful because you spent a lot of hours on it. So being able to understand what is success in your environment, have I exceeded it in some shape or form? Does the experience that I have add value to this team? And would they be in a lower or lesser position if I wasn't in this role? And then also understanding that if you do get the no, it's fine. Just ask them, what should I do then to get that salary? Ask them. So, okay, so I can't get the salary of 30,000 as an example. What is it that I still need to prove or do to show that I am worth this?
I like that.
Another gentleman said the other day, go and get an offer externally and show them what you're worth. I almost fell off my chair and I was like, wow, I never thought of that. But that is true. That happens all the time. Where you say to the people, I don't really want to leave, but this is what the market is saying I'm worth right now. Can you meet me here? And I was like, men and their confidence.
My goodness. That is a good idea.
And their confidence. Yeah.
Sure.
Because that takes confidence.
And then you go and you present.
Yes, you present and you say, similar entity or competitors of yours are willing to pay me this. Where are we?
You know, there's a point that you highlighted. You don't go to your manager or your senior just because you feel you deserve. I love that you are emphasizing on research and whether you actually achieved. What does your KPI say? I like that you HR as well. We go through a process of evaluating either quarterly or every 3 months, however, and let's score your KPI. Let's score your work aspects, and then let's go back to it. If honestly we've scored you a 5 out of 5 for like the past 2 to 3 years, you're more than welcome to come to my office and then let's discuss that, and then let's call in, whomever can then assist you. However, if you know full well, like what you said, 15 years, but I'm a warning, have late,
always
cameras,
late for work.
You're always eating. How well guys. So I love that. I love what you said about research. And honestly, we know when we actually deserve, guys.
Yes.
We honestly know.
We know.
We know very well. Come with the facts. This is what I've done.
And
let's talk about it.
And don't wait for anyone to come and tell you, because no one's going to tell you.
No one's going to tell you.
We let sleeping dogs lie. Yep. I mean, we're saving that person's salary.
Oh my gosh. Just like that. Just put it like that.
Yeah, like, it's sleeping.
Sure. I love that. I really love that. Okay. We're coming to a conclusion. So I think there's one question that I want us to highlight quickly. What are the biggest misconceptions about confidence in the workplace? Right? Because I think we've spoken a lot about confidence, but there's misconceptions of saying just because I'm a senior, I'm confident, or what are the misconceptions?
Yeah, that's a good one. I love that you started with that one. Is almost this belief that one day when I'm in an executive role,
Exactly.
I'll become confident.
No.
You're actually going to be the executive that calls me and says, I feel like such an imposter.
Sure.
I don't know, but I feel like how I can't share in this room. I don't know how they chose me. So your confidence is not built at success. It's not built when you reach that level. You will still feel the way you feel right now. The way you're feeling now is exactly how you're going to feel.
Sure. My goodness.
So don't wait for success. Start becoming confident now and acting like you are already an executive. Like, let people ask themselves, why do you think we need your opinion? Because be Delulu. Because you're acting like where you're going and not where you're at. I think that's very, very important, especially in the workplace. People take you more seriously when they can see that you see yourself as valuable. So they will ask themselves, what more can you offer? It's just like that.
Sure. I love
And
it.
then another misconception is that I'm going to be confident when I'm perfect. What's perfect? In whose eyes? Because whatever your pictures of perfect to me could look like, what a joke. You mean
That's perfect?
What do you mean?
Okay.
You mean the day you can use big words and no. Right? So don't wait for perfection. It doesn't even exist. I say that because I don't know who's defined it for you. Who's defined this perfect for you? And who are you measuring it up against? Who are you comparing it to? To yourself, or what is this? Right, so that's a big misconception. The day I get a 5 out of 5 rating for my performance, I'll be confident. No, you don't need that to be confident. Confidence is faith. It is evidence that, believing in something that's not evidently there yet, but you believe. And that's what drives you. When you say you believe in yourself, it's not always because there's proof. You believe in yourself because there's an element of faith that you're exercising.
Sure.
So that's part of it. Oh, there's so many. I wish I could break them all down. Or even the idea that I can only be confident when I can speak well. No, that's not true. As long as you are clear and understood, it's fine. You can already be confident. And even before that, you can be confident. Have you seen the confidence of a baby?
Sure. Listen.
Right? He knows now, choo. But the
Confidently.
confidence is there because it's really a state of mind and belief and faith. And it's not always, because I spoke well. And then there's also, I'll be confident one day when other people congratulate me, when that person, people always have that one person in the office that if that person says it was well done, now I've made it. And then tomorrow that same person says to you, that could have been better, now what? Right? So don't wait for whoever you think is the superstar in the office to validate you, because that in itself also doesn't mean now you're all of a sudden going to just burst with confidence. Yeah,
I think, I want to share something with you that my late grandmother actually told me. She told me that, at Slindo, I want you to be the best at, she made an example. She said, there are many of you, my grandchildren. There's those, obviously, academically, there's a 3, there's a 7. We're not gifted the same. At whatever level you're at, be the best at that, and watch how, just because you're the best at that, you respect that. Watch how it then, builds, and then you get to where you want to be. Not to say that you are looking down on yourself at this level, but because you're the best at your level 4, 5, whatever level you're at, it helps you get to the level 7. I like also what you mentioned is that if you feel like, however you're feeling, you're not confident, you're looking down on yourself at your level 3 or 4, it will be perpetually that way. Just because, yes, we will acknowledge, because you're doing well, you're gifted in that sense. But like you said, there are actually executives who enter a room and they feel, am I saying the right thing here? So I love that it begins at whatever level you're at. Don't ever tell yourself, okay, when I get there, that's when I'll be confident. No. It starts here. I genuinely love that so much. Okay, one final piece of advice or rather encouragement that you would give young women who are striving to show up confidently and claim their space in the corporate world?
Yes. I think this one is a big one for me is don't be the victim. Don't walk in as I'm always at the back foot in those rooms. You can feel like that when you're at home and in your own space, but when you get into the room, leave the victim outside and step into the room as if though you know you belong and this is your space. And whether they're giving you space or not, the moment you start to believe it, automatically the space starts getting created. Right? So don't be, oh, no shame, they're never going to listen to me. Hey, they will listen to me. Because I've got a great idea, guys. Share it like that. Don't say, maybe we can try. I have a great idea and I would love to share it. And they might go, oh, no, but we tried that. And then you say, but it was a great idea. I'm happy you all guys also thought of it. Don't let I experienced something negative hold you back. It is not defined. You're not defined by that failure. It's literally just a moment. It was a conversation. It's like you said pink and it was actually green. And then what? Now we're going to be like, oh, now my career suicide because, oh my goodness, I said the wrong color.
Exactly.
Right? Don't take it. And then also try and look for in your workspace for things that give you purpose, especially if you are in a difficult season in your career. It happens. There are times where you're doing work where you're like, yaw. And you're working for a person that's also like a yaw, like a big yaw sign. However, try and find that one thing that you can say, in this role, I might not be able to do all the things I love, but I am currently able to learn how to be more patient. What is it that you can find that will give you a reason to at least push through? Because you also don't want to be in the market with a negative attitude. We can smell a fish from a distance over even a Teams screen when a person is trying to pretend to be fine when they're not fine. Right? So try and find that thing so that when you talk about yourself and your career outside of your job, trying to find employment, you have that thing that we can see lights you up. That, I've got a difficult boss, but the one thing I love that I'm learning from being with this difficult boss is that excellence is everything.
Sure.
Right? It does, like, find the positive. Don't be, you are always, at the back foot. It doesn't take us anywhere when we're always believing that we're going nowhere in life. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. There's a video that I watched not so long ago. This lady says, I enter into rooms knowing that God called me to it. If that opportunity opened, obviously with discernment and prayer, I enter it because it means that there's something in me that He has entrusted in me for that room, no matter how intimidating, big, or unfamiliar. But I walk in there with confidence, and I've stuck with that.
Yes.
Knowing that whatever comes my way, no matter how young I am or whatever experience I have, because it is open, and knowing the God that I serve, knowing that, okay, I'm listening. And of course, because obviously also there are open doors that aren't for you.
Yes.
But the one that it is open for you, go into it confidently, knowing that you have what it takes.
Yes.
I love also what you're saying. Don't ever think that someone is going to say, don't you have something to say? Say. No one's going to tap you and say, Sham, she's been quiet. So Palesa has been quiet. Can we give her a chance? Please go in there fully, especially when you know that this is a very valid question or this is a very valid suggestion. Hey guys, I've got no matter how stupid, look what you said, it's not a suicide. What did you say?
Don't commit career suicide.
Career suicide. Just because you said, well, I mean, I thought it was pink, but clearly it was green. And obviously because in the heat of the moment, you were feeling some type of way. No, go for it. And like I mentioned to you earlier on, I feel as though when you then jump those hurdles, okay, I fumbled that day. Okay, what was wrong? Okay, I was excited, or heat of the moment. Okay, I'll be better next time. The confidence is being built. You understand?
Yep.
I think this was so fruitful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I've learned a lot from you and from what you've said, and I'm really hoping that someone can take away from what we mentioned today. Honestly speaking, especially those who are coming. I've got a sister.
Yes.
So I want her to listen to this and think, okay, I can do it, man. And I don't have to wait for people around me. Let me go for it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And also making her realize that, remember, we all used to think, I'm going to work one day and it's going to be amazing.
Guys,
We are working.
we're working. We are what?
Working.
We're not having. Well, I mean, you can have a good time, but it's not only that. It's work.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I really hope you enjoyed it.
I did. It was a good
Thank
conversation.
you very much. And yeah, if you have any other questions, please do feel free to. I'm going to leave your number if that's okay with you. So they
Yes.
can reach out to you. You also have a few other classes that you
Yes.
you give to people. You can reach out to her. I follow you, and I'm just like, wow, she does all these things. Happy she's a mom. You're amazing. So I really think that you can reach out if there's confidence that you'd like to build or communication skills. I think you also provide
Yes.
that, right?
Yes.
So I'll leave her number here. But yeah, I think I had such a great time. I'm very impacted, and I'm hoping that, you know, even years down the line, someone can, you know, tap into this video and still be impacted. I will see you next time. I'll be speaking to my sister about a few things. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it.
Thank you.